YouTube, we're back, boys, we're back. We are back on the grind for the YouTube. Hopefully you can hear me properly. But where have we been? Where have we been? I don't know. I just haven't picked up the camera, to be honest. Not for YouTube anyway, but for Instagram, still been keeping up with the content on that. We've just been kind of, I'm going to be honest. Post-show is a bit of a whirlwind when it comes to YouTube and content. Because, like I said, I wanted to keep the content going weekly. But I was like, wait, I've been doing this thing for so long. What do I talk about? What do these day in the lives look like? And I realised from more YouTube videos that I've been watching and more vlogs that I've been watching, realistically, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. The video doesn't need to be anything fancy. I don't need to be doing anything crazy. I just need to be going about my day and just putting myself on the fucking camera. So, probably shouldn't swear. I'm not monetized yet, so it don't really matter. Yeah, I don't make any money off YouTube, so fuck it. Yeah, so obviouslir I've not been picking up the camera to record or vlog or anything like that because, yeah, I just didn't know what to do. Just didn't know what to talk about. Didn't really like feel like my life had been that interesting more recently because all I've been doing is eating more, training hard, sleeping, working, coaching, like that's literally all I've been doing. And obviously it is time that we just pick up the fucking camera and start to just do some shit with it. Fuck. Start to do some shit with it. So yeah, weekly the camera's being picked up. Whether we do an educational video, whether we do a vlog, whether we do a day in the life, whether we do a full day of eating, whether we do, I don't give a fuck. Just this camera is getting picked up and we are going to be doing something on a weekly basis. Sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. Who knows? Might get a little bit crazy with it. I don't know. I don't know yet. All I know is I'm putting this camera to use outside of just Instagram and just creating fucking short reels because I'm going to be real with you. No pun. That was cringe as fuck. On a reel, I do English. It is 8 AM. Pre-workout kicking in. Fuck. Yeah, on a reel though, I do like creating YouTube content. It's just I felt my life's been a little bit boring recently because I've been trying to. When you're trying to grow a business and when you're trying to grow a coaching business, like I've been so focused on sitting at my laptop creating Instagram content because that is where I do generate a lot of my business from, and I kind of neglected this side of things when I enjoy doing this. So why don't I just fucking do it? Just fucking pick up the camera and just record some shit. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna go train now. Let's kind of get to the point of the video. We're gonna go train. I'm not gonna record the sessions because I've realized more recently no one actually gives a fuck about training, as in like watching training. It's dead, it's boring, it's shit content. I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I see someone on YouTube record their session, I've watched my own videos back and I've watched other people's videos and you just watch them do the sets. Now, unless you've got someone recording you, creating this nice cinematic sort of edit, making it look all fancy and shit, it's dead. It's dead content, it's boring as fuck, and I don't want to watch it. Not like this is any fucking better, but at least I'm talking to the camera. At least you've got something to watch, rather than me doing a tricep push down and going, like, no one gives a fuck. So, yeah, anyone, if you want to create content as well, just please don't record gym content. It's fucking shit, it's dead, it's outdated and it's washed. I ain't ever gonna watch it again. Like, whenever I watch anyone record in the gym and it's themselves doing a vlog, I skip past the set because I don't want to see how they train. If I want to learn how to train, you don't watch how someone trains. You take note of, if you're a beginner, then maybe, yeah, that's probably useful. But if you are someone that's relatively like okay at training, you've been training for a while, you don't really want to watch someone do a set of fucking tricep pushdowns or a chest press or a fucking lat pull down. No one gives a shit. And even people that might be new to training, you might just want to know how to do something rather than just watch. You might be a visual, but also it's nice to kind of understand the technique behind it as well. But yeah, we're waffling. We're going to get some fucking music on. We're not going to record the gym session, like I said. And then we're gonna get our arse to the fucking gym. Today, what we got on the plate is a push session, so that is gonna be juicy. I'm gonna be training ultra flexing derby, but we just need to get some bangers on. So do we go with a bit of bashment? Do we go with a bit of grime? Do we go with a bit of hip hop? Who fucking knows? I don't really know what's tickling my pickle today, you know, because I don't really know what type of mood I'm in until I get going with it. Who's that? Who's that? Pull over. I don't even know if this is going to work, you know. So I've got the camera on the little tripod and you're on my passenger seat, balancing against my bag. Let's see if we can drive without the camera going fucking flying. And ideally, I don't want that to happen because it's a pretty expensive camera, like. M69, love Matt. Oh, this ain't gonna go well, bruv. And by the way, we're not trying to become no Sam Sulek. You're not going to be coming along for the whole ride, and we're not going to be talking for about 30 minutes on the way to the gym. And I don't think this camera's going to last that long. To be fair, I forgot to charge the camera. Charge the mics. Bit of Chris Breezy, yeah. Get him on. She pretty with it, got a few problems, but it's alright, but she been dealing with them. I never know what this guy's fucking saying. Come on, get to the bit down there, man. You know why, 'cause I'm addicted to it. Me. Alright, don't know the rest. Got one in his back.
Ever blasted your pagans? How the fuck do you jump on beats and rap?
Don't see the thing, man. Stop it, holding them up. You'll notice when it comes to the music, there's a wide bunch, a wide variety. This is just like what the repeated songs are on my Spotify playlist. But you're looking at like grime, R&B, hip hop, a little bit of drill. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's gonna be. That's pretty much what every day consists of. Crack out the window, yeah, because I'm sat down, never shed tears. That camera is so close to going fucking tits up me. Part-time rapper, full-time coach. If you don't get yourself hyped for the gym, then what are you doing? I feel like this footage is gonna be so fucking dark, like, and I don't even know how to brighten it up, mate. I don't even know if I'll just try and brighten it up from the editing. But yeah, you've got to have a little bit of a boogie on the way to the gym. You can't, or you bang on some motivational speech, and then you get your bum to the gym, and then I guarantee that's going to put you in a better mindset to train. Leaving, I gave her too many reasons. Oh, fuck off. Kind of touch on the session today. Not like you give a fuck. You might give a fuck, I don't know. But the session today is obviously going to be consisting of chest, shoulders, a little bit of triceps. So the way that I technically structure the session is always going to start off with some form of shoulders. I like to make sure the shoulder joint is good. I want to make sure it's nice and lubricated before we get started training. So I'll do some form of lat raises, generally with a set of cables, and then I might do a dead hang on a like a pull-up bar, just to open up the shoulders again and just make sure the lats are nice and warm. Now, why do I want to engage the lats? Why do I want to make sure the lats are nice and warm? And why do I want to do a dead hang? A dead hang, if for those who don't know it, you just literally, it's like a pull-up without the pull-up. You're just holding yourself in a nice stretch position. Now, that scapula, the thing in your back, yeah? What you want is you want that to be nice and engaged for when you're doing push, because you are going to have to pin your shoulders back. You are going to have to pin that scapula to the bench, and it gives you a lot more stability when you're pressing. So just to give you a little bit of knowledge and education around this video as well, rather than just it being a full-on fucking me making a tit of myself. You do want to learn something on this video, I'm hoping. So yeah, it's you do want to make sure that you're getting your lats warm as well when you're doing a push day. So some form of shoulders and dead hang probably first, and then we'll do some lat raises second, and then move on to a dumbbell variation of lat raises as well, whether that be a Y raise, whether that be a seated dumbbell lat raise variation. I like to do two sort of variations with a lat raise just to get the shoulders nice and warm. We don't do any shoulder press today. Shoulder presses come into a upper session. So then we move on to chest. Chest, we go with an incline variation first. It depends on what gym I'm training at. So I train out of Ultraflex in Derby or Ultraflex in Leeds. So it depends on which one I'm at, what equipment they got available. But if I'm at Leeds, it's going to be the Dorian Yates incline press in the dungeon. Fucking sick piece of kit. The hammer strength incline, beautiful. If I'm at Derby, it's generally going to be the Atlantis press or Atlantis incline press. Then we go into a flat. I was trying the prime actually. I was trying the prime incline for a few weeks, but it's okay. I do prefer the plate loaded Atlantis. I just think it's so much better in terms of the profile and how it feels for my chest. And then we'll go on to a flat variation, and then we will go on to a fly. Now flies, dependent on how warm I want to get my chest before I go into the pressing, I might do flies first, but then I'll also do flies at the back end. But the way that you perform it is going to be different. So flies at the beginning of the session will be to get some blood to the chest. Flies at the end of the session will be to fully fatigue and get the chest short. And fully fatigued at the back end just to finish it off pretty much. So yeah, I don't want to finish it off at the beginning of the session. I don't want to get it completely fucked in the short. I want to save that for the presses. So it's all about blood flow at the beginning, then the back end is all about making sure that you're finishing it off. So yeah, but it depends on how warm I want to get the chest. And then once you've done the incline, the flat and the fly, that's pretty much chest done from a volume standpoint. The main thing that you want to prioritize is going to be the intensity side of things, making sure that the sets themselves are intense. You don't need more than that. You don't need loads of pressing or presses. You don't need loads of flies. You don't need to do more presses than you need. You need an incline, you need a flat, and you need a fly. The amount that you do will dictate on the level of intensity and the level of load that you're lifting, the amount of load that you're lifting. If you lift like a fucking panzer, you're probably going to need a little bit more volume in terms of the sets to be able to feel it and to be able to get anything out of it. Yeah, then we get ourselves into triceps, and then we finish off by blasting the fuck out of them. But when I post a reel or when I post a fucking YouTube short about growing your arms, the first thing I get is, where are your arms? Where are your arms? I'm not going to listen to you, you ain't got no arms. Look, bro, come on, look, the point stands. Whether my arms are fucking looking like Ronnie Coleman's or Phil Heath's or fucking Chris Bumstead's, the point still stands. And compared to where they were, they're all right now. They're not as bad. They're a little bit less shit. So, yeah, are my arms great? No. Are they getting better? Yes. So stop fucking hating. And if you hate, get fucked. You don't need to comment. You don't need to hate. Just think about it and go. But obviously, compared to where we were to where we are now, we've done all right. We've done all right. But yeah. Does it trigger me a little bit? No, of course not. Definitely not, slightly. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm pissed. And it's, I'm not really. When I got into the car, I was gonna go, boys, I had such a sick session. That was one of the best sessions I've had in a long time. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because the camera's gonna die, so I need to get back and charge it. But as I got in the car, putting my headphones away, one of the headphones has fell down the little crack, or not the crack. It's got, you know, the side of the seat in between where the cup holders are and the seat is, it's gone in between there. Put the seat back, put the seat forwards, can't get the fucking headphone, so I need someone to pick it out. And yeah, it's pretty, pull that down so I'm not fucking causing some fuckery on the mic. But yeah, it's literally right down there. And I don't really know how I'm gonna get it, but we're gonna try and get it when we get on. But yeah, sick session, pretty much, probably one of the best sessions I've had in it, like since the show is finished, in terms of push anyway. Yeah, strength at an all-time high. I was happy when I got in the car, not so happy now I've dropped my headphone down there because it means I've got a fanny about to get the fucking headphone out. So yeah, that's a job for when I get home. Fuck's sake. I dropped it and I went, don't fat finger it. Just slowly, just lightly grab it, and pull it back up and put it in the headphone case. And I fat fingered it. So back from the gym now, we're gonna record the main bit of the video, which is gonna be a little Q&A. It's a little Q&A. And I've still left that headphone in the side of the seat. So that's a job for later on. Don't really know how I'm gonna get it out. It's pretty much stuck. So that is gonna be difficult to get out, but maybe a knife will sort it, just fucking poke it down the side of the seat. But yeah, Q&A. Got a couple of questions written down. Now, these aren't questions that anyone has asked me. These are questions that I feel like people might want to know. You might be interested in, you might not. Who knows? So we're going to cover the cycle at the back end of prep. What was I taking? And I want to make this clear, when it comes to talking about steroids, when it comes to talking about cycles, it is not advice. It is not take this. Now, I am not running or haven't ran what some of the bigger bodybuilders are running, as I shouldn't be, because I'm not on their level. But at the same time, some guys might see this and hear this and think, oh, it's probably the best. That's probably what I need to start on. No, please don't. Please don't listen to this. Please don't start with what I was running at the back end of a bodybuilding prep. It's just to kind of give you the education on what I was doing and how I got into the shape that I did for the show. So that's one of the questions. Next, what's the goal now? Has off season started? Where do you want to take bodybuilding? What made you want to become a coach? Where is food currently at? And am I now coaching myself? So let's get straight into this bitch. Start with the juicy one, what people are probably going to want to know about more. The cycle at the back end of prep. So obviously, in terms of the off season, we didn't really change anything in regards to injectables. So Test was in, Masteron was in. They were the two compounds. So 300 milligram of Test E, 400 milligram of Masteron in Anthate. So the 300 Test is about all I can tolerate before side effects start coming in or creeping in terms of sensitive nipples, like skin flaring up and stuff like that. So I don't take any more than 300 milligram. And then when it comes to Masteron, that's just a DHT derivative. So that's what we put on top of your testosterone or your base. Test is always going to be the base, and then the compounds that you put on top of that is to drive up the total androgen load, and that was 400 milligram. And then it was 50 milligram of Anavar daily, 80 micrograms of Clen, which got tapered down towards, started at 40, increased up to 80, and then got tapered down to 40 at the back end of prep. When I say the back end of prep, we're talking about the last 2 weeks, pretty much, just before the show. Why do we do that? Why do you taper down Clen? What is Clen? Clen, it's a fat loss tool. It's a fat loss aid. So it's one of those that will improve or increase your metabolism, allows you to burn more calories at rest, increases your heart rate. Essentially, it's just a very powerful fat loss aid or fat loss tool, just because it puts you in a position where you're burning more calories at rest. So it means you go into less of a harsh deficit with your calories, and you can utilize that and keep your food a little bit higher. So why did we go to 80? Again, 80 is just to increase the total amount of calories that you burn at rest. So it means that we can utilize a higher amount of food, which is going to benefit more muscle, or maintaining a bit more muscle during the prep. But at the back end, you pretty much taper it down, you pull it down, because you don't need to keep it in when the fat loss is done. And if anything, it has a massive impact on your sleep. It impacted my sleep massively. I was getting up at about 4 a.m. every fucking day, every day, at the back end of prep. And it is not what you want to do. It's not what you want to do, but you do it anyway, because you get, you know, that feeling when you get up in the morning, you're just wide awake. And that was it. I was wide awake. Didn't mean I wanted to be awake, but there was no means of me getting back to sleep. I closed my eyes and nothing was happening. So pretty much 4 a.m. wake-ups every single day, and bringing it down, tapering it down, pretty much put me in a position where I started to get up a little bit later, started to feel like I could actually get a bit more sleep, which, again, why is sleep going to be important in a prep? You want to manage your sleep and your sleep cycle, because it will have a positive impact on your appetite. I felt mad hungry on the days when I had a shit sleep. When food was, or when it got tapered down and when sleep started to improve, hunger was still high as fuck. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I was hungry, but you're going to be. It's a prep. You deal with it. It's the back end of a prep. When you're lean as fuck, and it hurts to sit on your arse. So, and right now, it's not too bad, because I've got a bit of fat around my bum cheeks. And then 100 micrograms of T4. T4 is for your thyroid. It's just a thyroid support to make sure it doesn't drop below the normal range. And again, keeping that in post-show. Why do we keep it in post-show? One, because it is going to allow us to have less of a harsh rebound. It's going to put ourselves in a position where we're not going to accrue as much body fat too quick. And the mistake that I made last year was I took it out completely, and took it out straight off the bat from competing. And then what happened? I blew up like a fucking balloon. What happened this time? Did I blow up like a balloon? Not really. obviously, if you've watched my vlog in Ibiza, the issue that I had with food in Ibiza, I went away at 188 pounds. I came back 196. Now, I've held 194, 195 for the past, whenever I got back from Ibiza, which was over 3 weeks ago now. I've held that weight eating what I'm eating now, which I'm going to go into in a sec, so you want to stick around. So I've held that weight now. Difference is the look's just gotten better because I'm eating foods that digest well. My body's in a position now where it's not as sensitive, which shows that that post-show recovery phase is done. My body's accepting the food now rather than just soaking it up and holding a bunch of fluid. And you know you're holding a bunch of fluid when you get a bunch of edema around your ankles, and yeah, you start to look a little bit watery around your ankles. You just hold a load of fluid, it makes it hard to walk and it's uncomfortable as fuck. And in Ibiza, I was as uncomfortable as you can get. I could barely walk for longer than fucking 10 minutes, especially with the heat and the humidity, without needing to sit down. It probably wasn't even 10 minutes. I'm cutting myself some slack there. It's probably 5. But yeah, it's eased off now. We've dropped around 1 to 2 pounds, but the look has only improved. So can't really complain there. But yeah, that was a cycle at the back of the prep. That was how we approached the whole prep pretty much. And yeah, it's not what I advise. It's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm not a doctor, and it's just me being open and transparent about my usage during the prep to get to where I was for the show. What's the goal now? Has off season started? Right, off season has not started. It is we're at a point now where we are not running anything in terms of we're not blasting. We are cruising. Essentially, cruising is just keeping your testosterone at a base, a lower dosage, to put you in a natural position, or for me, it's probably just above that natural range in terms of blood work, which is 150 milligram per week of testosterone enanthate. Now, again, this is individualized. This is different from person to person. So one person could take 100 milligrams per week and be within that range. Another person could take 100 milligrams and be above the natural range. It depends on the person and where your natty range is in terms of your testosterone. But that for me puts me just above the sort of natural range. Off season doesn't officially start until I get my blood work done, which is why I've held my food where it's at pretty much for the past 5-6 weeks. And that's keeping me in a nice, comfy, tidy spot, and appetite is still firing. Get blood work done next week, so we'll find out where things are in terms of health. When I find that out, when I see where I am, when I see if anything needs fixing, that is when we will decide when the off season starts. Pretty much from a food standpoint, that's when we'll start to push things up, when we know we're in a healthy spot. When it comes to anabolics, they will go in when I fancy, to be honest. I'm not in a rush to go back on. If I'm completely transparent, I'm not in a rush to jump back on to anabolics straight away. We're going to focus on food first. Food is going to be the priority, and food is always going to be the priority regardless of what you're doing. Food, training, sleep, recovery, they're going to be the key factors when it comes to growth. The anabolics are just the icing on the cake as such. Where do I want to take bodybuilding? Bodybuilding is one of those where I do not want to become a pro. I've got no ambition of becoming a pro. I don't care about becoming a pro. I see myself more as a coach, and I like to help people more than I like to get in a fucking set of pants on stage and want to become a pro. But I love the process. So I step on stage to challenge myself and take myself to another level of discipline. And every single time, it's put me in a better position in terms of my own discipline and my ability to now coach myself. That's why I like prep, because of that. Do I want to compete again? 1,000%. Where do I want to take it in terms of my physique? I don't know. I just take it day by day. I take it as it comes, and I just want to progress. That's the reality of it. Reality of it is, I want to progress. I want to get better. I want to improve. I want to get bigger. I want to start to see myself looking further and further like a bodybuilder. So yeah, we're just going to see where we can take it in the next 2 years. And the reason why I say 2 years is because I put on 14 pounds in less than 8 months of being in an off season. So what can we do if we have 18, 20 months of growing with food in a surplus, with obviously anabolics being in play as well. Where's that going to take me? I don't know. And that's what I'm interested to see. So yeah, that's where I want to take it. It's just to be better. I don't care about being pro, and that's not the ambition. Doesn't mean I don't live like one. Doesn't mean I don't live like a bodybuilder. It just means that I have no ambition of getting a fucking IFBB pro card. It's not on the radar for me. I don't really feel like I've got the genetics without having to push myself from a drug standpoint, which I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily willing to do. I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to take the anabolic side of things too far. And there's people I know that are amateurs or haven't competed, but their cycle is way higher than mine. Way higher than mine. And I'm just not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that, if I'm honest. I do want to have kids one day. I do want to keep myself healthy, and that is one of the things that I prioritize when it comes to usage. It's progression, but not at all costs. It's progression by making sure that I'm staying as healthy as I physically can, and understanding and not being naive to the fact that I'm not a pro-worthy, high-level fucking competitor that's going to have an amazing physique unless I push things too far, which, like I said, I ain't willing to do. What made you want to become a coach? Right, I wanted to become a coach because I like to help people. I love to fucking help people. Doesn't mean that I'm taking a load of people through prep yet. I'm not. A lot of the time, or a lot of the guys come to me for fat loss, muscle building. It's just general lifestyle changes. But it doesn't mean that I don't treat them just as harshly as I do treat myself, in the sense of there is obviously a level of flexibility with how I coach people. But at the same time, I want them to understand that for me to get where I've got to in terms of my own mindset, in terms of my own physique, I've put in the work from a habit standpoint, from food being the way it is now and finding what works for me, because I don't like living like a robot, especially in an off season. I did have a Domino's last night, but I have it once a week. That's my treat once a week. You'll get other coaches saying, your off plan needs to be something that digests well. It needs to be something like a Nando's, or it needs to be something like sushi. The reality is, an off season, a growth phase, a period where you're growing needs to suit you from your own mental capacity to stick to a plan and your own level of adherence. What is going to make you adhere to a plan long term? Does that mean having a burger, going out with your partner? Does that mean having a Domino's? Does that mean having a fucking tub of Ben & Jerry's once a week? Obviously, as the food gets higher and as you push food up a little bit more, your ability to tolerate more food is going to increase. So it's going to be dependent on you, where your food is going to be at, what you can tolerate. It's all individualized. For me, I had a Domino's last night, but I didn't eat 3 of my meals. Is that optimal bodybuilding? No, it's not. But I dropped 2 pounds because of it, which shows that I can fucking tolerate a lot of food. And yeah, I just stick to one off plan a week, one main and a sweet treat alongside of that. And then that keeps me sweet and that keeps me consistent 6 days of the week. And then that 7th day, I just like a little treat for myself, because that's how fucking life should be. Where's food currently at? Rest day about 3.3 and a training day about 3.5 to 3.6k calories. We're touching about 280 gram of protein on a training day, 240 on a rest day. Carbohydrates, we are looking at around 400 and something. I've not got it written down, but that's where they are in terms of calories. Now, obviously, will that change as I go into an off season? Yes. By how much? What are we going to focus on increasing? Fats are in a good spot. We're not going to change them until we need to, until our appetite starts to become a little bit shit. But they're about 50 grams right now, which is sweet for me. Carbs are going to be the thing that we increase, and we're going to go up by 25 to 50 gram increments each time whenever we need an increase. But right now, weight is holding eating that amount of food, which shows me I'm going to be eating a decent amount of food in this off season compared to anyone before. I think the highest it got last time was 3.8, which shows you, 1, I've got a better ability to tolerate more foods. 2, my appetite definitely allows me to tolerate more food, and my body is just soaking it up because I've still got a relatively decent physique. I don't look like a bag of milk, which is nice. Like a soggy bag of dicks is what I look like towards the back end of my off season last time. I actually look all right now, so I want to keep it that way. So we're going to take smaller increments as the weeks go on, but we need to. And yeah, the final one I've written down: are you now coaching yourself? Yes. Why? I want to I want to show myself that I can do it. I've never been able to coach myself just because I've liked the accountability, I've liked the support, I've liked someone taking the thinking away from me. Now I check in with myself every Sunday, take pictures, fill out my own form, put myself on my own coaching app, because it's another level that I can take myself to show myself that I've got a level of discipline. I like to challenge myself, and that's what we do. And that's what we are going to be doing for the foreseeable for now, until I get to the point where I would like someone to take the thinking away from me. But I am enjoying it at the moment. I am enjoying it. So we are going to stick with coaching myself for a little while, whilst we're in this stage where we're just trying to build up another level of discipline and another challenge, take part in another challenge, which I see it as a challenge. Coaching yourself is a challenge because you need to hold yourself accountable. And for me to walk the walk for my clients, I need to show them what is possible when you fucking get your mind in the right spot. But yeah, there's some of the questions that I thought you might want to know with where things are at, with where I want to take bodybuilding, with where food is at, and obviously PEDs and what is coming next. But yeah, guys, look, this is going to be the video. Boys, if you enjoy watching these types of videos, if you want more Q&As, if you want more education around like bodybuilding, training, nutrition, fitness, whatever you want. I'm not really going to say fitness because I don't do too much cardio. I just do cardio for fucking health purposes. But yeah, if you want more videos just like this, if you want to stick around and you enjoy the video, then obviously make sure you drop me a subscribe on the channel. Like the video, share it to a mate, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.